Here it goes. Yeah. Let him hear you, folks. Let him hear you. Come join us as we take you on a trip from the practice pen to the show arena and let you listen in as top trainers prepare their students to compete in the Western industry's most exciting equine sport. And you'll learn what it takes to become a top weekend cutter.
Just relax, Robert.
Very good, Chase. Keep pushing on that horn, bud.
Cow side leg just a little. There you go. Stay up. Back up. Stay up. There you go. Good. Don't lean. There you go.
People from all walks of life can find a place in our sport.
Hi, I am Kathy Reiserfoot. My husband Jonathan and I have insured with Roger Peters Livestock for over 30 years. Our most recent issue was I was showing our mare. We were sitting fourth in the world and she tore a suspensory. Our insurance coverage is the reason we were able to continue on with Lola. And I so appreciate Roger Peters Livestock Insurance.
If you're looking for a place to have your equine event, Central Florida is the place to be. Home to every equestrian discipline that you could think of, from dressage to 3-day eventers to hunter jumpers to polo and now cutting. There's no better situated facility than Florida Horse Park. Florida Horse Park. Visit www.flhorsepark.com. If old-time Texas mesquite coal-fired pit barbecue is what you've been hankering, then look in Belton, Texas. Shop's Barbecue. Some of the best barbecue you'll ever eat. And don't miss the Texas Music Series. They do a number of nights throughout the year. You can come and eat some of the best pit barbecue in Central Texas and listen to some Texas Red Dirt Road music. Hey folks, welcome to Cuttin Up. We're going to do something we've never done on this show so far. We're going to bring you a 2-part series of all of our highlights from the regionals that we held both on the eastern United States and the central United States. We had some great facilities, Florida Horse Park there in Marion County and Ocala, Florida, and the Bell County Expo there in Belton, Texas. They were great places to have our shows. Lots of great sponsors and advertisers that got on board with these shows. This first part is brought to you by Roger Peters Livestock Insurers. Be sure and go to rogerpeterslivestockins.com. Get a hold of Connie Peters. She can take care of all your insurance needs for your free animals there on the ranch. Now let's head to Ocala, Florida and check on the action. Well, here's the open class at Catabella, piloted by Gary Moore from Wellborn, Florida. Gary is the patriarch of a family of cutters between his son Casey and both of his grandsons Colby and Colt. Catabella and Gary's got their first cow cut here at the Florida Horse Park. Very correct, very pretty horse. This class is brought to you by Sonny's Barbecue. Gary has made about every weekend Cutting Horse Association event in the Southeast United States. Catabella is owned by Dr. David Burba, Florida veterinarian who also competes. But he leaves this horse here to the professional Mr. Gary Moore. Gary's got this yellow cow and his second cow in the middle of the pen, presenting as pretty a picture as he can to our judge, futurity winner, Mr. John Talbert. Gary's going for his last cow. He's got a handful out there. He's got this red cow dialed in. His help puts up the baldy and we're cut. And that is the way you do it. Well, here's Danny Moore on WR Spooky Looking Cat. We're down in Belton, Texas. This show we're going to kind of flip-flop between Florida and Texas to give you highlights from all the runs. Danny gets his first cow cut in front of the judge. Cow's not really wanting to look at Danny yet and his horse. That sure makes it better and easier for these horses to stay tied to a cow is when cows will kind of look at them. This open class is brought to you by Bell County Expo. They host a variety of big events from rodeo to horse shows to Bell County Fair, concerts, just a great facility. Danny's got this second cow cut. Kind of wanting to do the same thing to him here a little bit. Cow's not really looking at his horse a little bit. Danny marks him a 73 and wins that open class there in Belton. Well, here's Miss Kathy Sokol, wife of Ted Sokol, in the non-pro here at Florida Horse Park. This horse is Cat Small, comes off the Brewer Ranch. Kathy and Ted's son-in-law, Ben Robertson, there in Weatherford. Got this horse for him out of that Brewer Ranch dispersal sale years ago, and it has been great for Kathy and Ted. She finished up with that red mont. Now she's going to look like she's eyeballing this red cow. Going to drive him all the way out. And throw her hand down in the middle of the pen, right where John Talbert, our judge, past futurity champion, likes to see it. This class brought to you by Ocala Homes and Farms. Be sure and get a hold of them if you're looking to move into the Ocala area. Kathy's doing a good job of trapping this cow. She quits that red one. Going to finish up. Looks like she's eyeballing one of them white cows up on the top that wants to be cut. That's exactly what she does. Starts breaking it down right here at the end of the run. She'll mark a 75 and win the non-pro there at the Eastern Regionals in Ocala. Well, we're back in Belton, Texas at the Bell County Expo. Here in the 50,000 amateur class, here's Brad Buckley on C.D. Braun's Cat. This class was brought to you by Shops Barbecue, some of the best barbecue that you can get in Central Texas. Just an exit or so up from Bell County Expo. Brad's got him a little mott-faced black right in the middle of the pen. His little horse is wanting to be good. Good job. Now let's head back to Florida and see the 50,000 amateur class there. Here's Hannah Knowles from Springfield, Tennessee. Hannah is mounted on her horse Glows. Let's see how she gets along. She's doing a good job cutting shape, and she's got her little black right in the middle. This young lady took quite a break from cutting, started a family, moved from Georgia to Tennessee, and is just getting back in it. As you can tell, she is no slouch. She knows how to ride a horse thanks to her family. This is Ronnie Hodge's granddaughter and our secretary, Katie Miller's daughter. Hannah was one of the only ones from the state of Tennessee that came all the way to Florida for this cutting. This class was brought to you by Larson Farms, where you can buy your Total Feeds products there in Ocala. Good job. Hannah's going in to get her another one. We had a lot of great sponsors down there in Ocala, and a lot of great cutters came and had a good time. Granddad Ronnie has got her directed in there on a cow. She's got her a black one that's going to stick right in the middle for her. She's got her hand down, and it's time to go back to work. Here at the Weekend Cutting Horse Association's Eastern Regionals and Gator Shootout. Well, not only is that how you do it, but that's how you do it and get marked a 76.
This is Dr. Harry Anderson. That is a good question of how to control the odor in your stable. Odor is not only an inconvenience and an irritation, but it can be seriously detrimental for the health of you and your horse. Your horse has to live in that environment. And if you have a lot of ammonia, that can irritate the lungs and cause that chronic little cough and runny nose that you sometimes see in horses. And if you walk in a stable and you hear this little coughing, that probably has to do with the ammonia being liberated by the urine and the manure in the pen. Now you can control it by cleanliness. If you clean that stall every day very carefully and keep it dry, you probably won't have a problem. But that's really not very practical, and it uses a lot of bedding. There is a way to do that, and there is a product called Odor Lock that can be used. It's a granular product that you sprinkle on the bedding each time you change the bedding out, which maybe every 2 or 3 days or sometimes a week if you keep it clean enough. And this absorbs the ammonia. It's actually crushed rock that looks like a honeycomb, and it actually hides and binds the ammonia into the material itself, and also takes in moisture, so it keeps the stall a bit drier and keeps the ammonia level at an absolute minimum so you're not irritating those lungs. And the benefit of this also is that the ammonia stays in this material, so when you haul that bedding out and put it on your field or plow it under, it still has the ammonia, and the bacteria in the soil can use that for protein, and it helps the soil, it helps the environment because the ammonia is not in the air.
Welcome to You Be the Judge. I'm here in the Cutting Horse studio with my good friend David Brumley. David,
thanks for having me.
man, we love having you. Thank you for coming in. David is a 3A NCHA judge and has seen it all twice. So we kind of pick out some penalties of what we think there might be a penalty, but we want the judge to commentate on that. So we're going to take a look at a run right here and see what you think about it. And right after these messages, we're going to talk about it.
All right.
Bell County Expo is one of the finest equestrian facilities in Central Texas, hands down. Not only are equestrian events, rodeo, concerts, graduations, agricultural shows, symposiums, and the county fair, which always brings a lot of fun to the Bell County Expo. Contact bellcountyexpo.com to find out if you can bring your event to Bell County Expo in Bell County. How would you like to live closer to the Will Rogers Coliseum than anyone in Weatherford, Texas? Thanks to the new Chisholm Trail Parkway, Cleburne to Fort Worth is just 25 minutes. This resort-style saltwater pool area was designed with thoughts and memories of floating the Frio River in Concan, Texas, with the relaxing atmosphere of the finest resorts in Cancun, Mexico. Definitely built for entertaining. The horsemen will appreciate all pipe fencing and turnouts with water and shelter to support a broodmare and foal operation. Lots of outbuildings, working pens, alleys, and traps for working cattle and keeping horses tuned. And a great big round pen with terrific footing for getting them ready to go show. Beautiful 20-acre fertilized Bermuda grass hay meadow that yielded 94 rolls at the first cutting. The main home with metal roof is all Austin stone and cedar trim. 4 bedrooms, lots of custom tile, wood floors throughout, crown molding, heat pump system, the list goes on. The large dining area sits next to a huge kitchen with more cabinets than you can shake a stick at. With a huge office, big yard, beautiful views, and lots of shade trees. For your little piece of Texas, contact Stephanie Cordaway and Keller Williams. The Belton and Temple Chambers of Commerce would like to welcome you to Bell County. Both Belton and Temple share the shores of Belton Lake and host the Gin area, home to Dead Fish Grill, one of the most scenic restaurants in Central Texas, right on the shores of Lake Belton. Also, the Santa Fe Railroad Museum, with lots of history of Bell County and the railroads coming through here. Bell County is also home to Bell County Expo, one of the finest equestrian centers in Central Texas. Be sure and visit BeltonChamber.com and TempleTX.com to see what all you can see in Bell County, Texas. The rural American lifestyle. It's how we work, and it's how we play. It's how we learn and how we enjoy the finer things in life. How we take care of our animals and tend to the land. It's a way of life. Has been for hundreds of years. Now there's a whole new way for rural America to watch TV. Let's talk a little bit about this one.
This man here, his reins are a little long and his horse is a little out of control where he cannot control his horse. And right here, the cow that he wants, his horse turns back too far and he goes back into the herd where he can't keep them separated. And that way he couldn't get him cut, so he switched cattle.
He switched cattle because he started off on the little muley black mott, and that didn't work out, and he ended up cutting a little yellow kind of Erie Brahma kind of cow.
So if he would have done this differently, where he'd had a little shorter rein where he could have held a hold of him, right there you got to get him for 2 hands on the reins, which is another 3-point penalty.
Yes, sir.
And then this right here is just a big wreck, and then you'd have minus for herd work too.
There's the penalty and hopefully a little insight on how to prevent it. David, thank you for coming into the studio and talking with us on this You Be the Judge
I
segment.
appreciate it.
Now let's get back to the action. Well, we're back at Florida Horse Park, and here's Kenny Knowlton on DMAC Catfull, owned by Francisco Perez. Kenny is showing a lot of patience, making his cut. He's got this yellow cow eyeball, hands down on this pretty horse. Obviously, a Pepto-Bismol influence. A pretty red roan, and Kenny has this cow broke down right in the middle of the pen. Goes a little wide on him there. Gary Moore gets it back into play. And he finds him a good spot to get off. This 15 novice class was brought to you by Florida Horse Park. We were so tickled that the Weekend Cuttin' Horse Association put on the very first cutting ever at Florida Horse Park. Kenny Knowlton and his little red roan horse, still working hard. Popping a little red one out of the herd to finish off his run. Gary Moore doing a good job turning back for him, keeping that little red cow in play. And that's how you win the 15 novice horse in Ocala, Florida, marking a 73. Now let's go back to Ocala, Florida. Here's the youth class and Mr. Colt Moore. You saw his granddad, Gary Moore, showing that Catabella horse of Dr. Berber's in the open. Well, this is 2 generations below Mr. Gary Moore. Colt's riding a little horse called Peptotron, owned by Kelly Caves. This class brought to you by Russell's Western Wear. Be sure and go see them for all things you need in Ocala, Florida to look the part. Colt's driving him some more out. Looks like he's looking at that paint cow. Sure enough, gets Peptotron set, hand down, and he's back to business. Colt sure does a good job. You're always going to find him and his brother in the youth finals somewhere. They're just a bunch of good hands in that Moore family. The boys live around Williston, just west of Ocala. Colt's looking for a place to get off this paint cow. Colt's wanting to get off this paint cow as soon as he gets a chance. I'm sure he will. Kind of got it broke down now, so that's how he's going to win the youth class there in Ocala with a 75. Now we're back in Texas at the Bell County Expo. Here's Tommy West. Tommy's down from Conroe, Texas, working this little black cow. That's his wife, Mary, sitting over there in the corner. Little horse is wanting to really do some work for us. This class is brought to you by Bloomer Trailers. Tommy got him another black one cut, and that's how he's going to finish up his run. Thank you, Tommy. Here's the 35,000 novice non-pro class from Ocala, Florida. This class is sponsored by American Hat Company. And here's Miss Hannah Knowles on Enjoy a Dually. We watched her showing her horse Glows earlier. Now she's riding this horse, got her little black cow, pushing on her quite a bit. Little horse is holding its line as she gets her a place to get off. Our secretary, Katie Miller's daughter. She's been cutting about her whole life. She left cutting, got her family started in Tennessee, and she decided to get back down into it, come cut up with her family. She's going to go for her last cow. She's getting that deep cut qualified for. Granddad Ronnie on this side, Ted Sokol on the other side, Coy Smith's up top. She's got a lot of great help. Big bunch of cattle. She's going to see what's going to stand there wants to be cut. She likes that little white cow. Throws her hand down and goes to business. That's how you win the 35,000 Novice Non-Pro class, brought to you by American Hat Company, marking a 75. Here's Miss Candace Harrison from Oviedo, Florida. She's riding Sugar Widows. Candace has made a couple of shows of the Weekend Cutting Horse Association events. She came to one up in Perry, Georgia. Had to come to this one in Ocala. It's right in her own state. She's got this little black cow cut right in the middle. Having a good run so far. Candace rides with Ted Sokol. And every time she walks to the herd, it's just a little bit better. Ted's got her on her next cow. She can cut two more and do what she just did. She's fixing to mark her a big score. Got that second cow cut, breaking it down right in the middle. Doing a good job. Sugar Widows and Candace, evenly matched up duo, having lots of success. And that's how you win the class, but mark your very first 75. Here's Miss Marianne Feldman, affectionately known as Pokey to her friends, from Ocala. She did not have to go far from her front doorstep to Florida Horse Park and cut up with us. This is your 15,000 amateur class, and she's riding Shorty's Play Gun. This class brought to you by Total Feeds. Dr. Anderson has something in his arsenal to help you and your animals live a healthy lifestyle. Go to totalfeeds.com. Marianne is having a good run so far. Working hard, this little black cow, stopping hard with this little black cow, and she gets her a good spot to get off. Coy Smith's talking to her over her shoulder there. Says, get out there and cut you an aggressive black cow, and that's what she does. All the way to the wall. She's ready to stop that cow if the cow will pay attention to her. She holds it, the buzzer goes off, and Pokey marks her a 75.
Hi, this is Mike Crumper from Burnett, Texas, and this is Talking a Bit. I'd like to share with you today one of my favorite bridles that I use in the show pen. It's a James Morris. As you can see, it's got an 1 3/4 perch right here. It's got a medium to long shank on it with a lot of curve. I get a lot of feel with this bit. It has a lot of tongue relief. It ties right into the bars. The reason why I like this shank on this right here, it's got a lot of curve right here, so I have a lot of feel when you pull the bridle reins back. You get feel here, so you have a lot of collection. It's got a single curb chain on it. The headstall is a one-piece ear headstall. I've got heavy harness leather double-stitch bridle reins for the weight. This gives me more control, makes me lighter-handed, and over the neck, it proves to be easier on the horse's face when cutting a cow.
The Talking a Bit segment is designed to let you know what trainers consider to be their favorite bit and what their uses are. Be sure and talk with your trainer to see what bit works best for you and your horse. Sioux Falls Prater is the place for all your John Deere green in Central Texas. They're also the steel dealer in Central Texas for all your lawn and garden power equipment. Be sure and get a hold of the good folks at Sioux Falls Prater. They know about anything that's green for the farm and ranch. Just visit cptractor.com.
I'm Dr. Glenn Blodgett from the 4 Sixes Ranch here in Guthrie, Texas, and I highly recommend Alfalfa Cubes from Manzanola, Colorado. The thing I can tell you about this Top of the Rockies cube is it's the most consistent form of alfalfa I've ever been able to purchase. We feed this in the pasture on the ground some, we feed it in the lots. It really does meet all the nutritional needs. I couldn't recommend any hay source any higher than I can this Top of the Rockies cube.
This is Dr. Harry Anderson. I've devoted the last 40 years of my life to planning and developing the products we have available to you in Total Feeds. Total Feeds has safe, simple, and proven nutritional programs for you and your animals. Make Total Feeds a part of your healthy lifestyle.
Well, folks, thank you for joining us this week. That's part one of all the Weekend Cutting Horse Association's regional work-offs here on Cuttin' Up. This whole episode was brought to you by Roger Peters Livestock Insurers. Remember, no vet check up to $100,000 in value. Just go to www.rogerpeterslivestockins.com. Get a hold of Connie Peters. She can help you get your animals insured. I want to say a big thank you to all those sponsors from Belton, Texas and Ocala, Florida. Without them, we couldn't have made those shows possible. Now, next week will be part two of all these regional work-offs brought to you by Total Feeds. We'll see you right here next week on Cuttin' Up.
This is not the same. If you can't cut it, then get out the ring. Stay behind the gate if you can't stand the flame. Let someone in there who knows the game. If you can't cut it, move out the way. Let me in there, get out my way.
Be sure and go to Cuttin Up TV's Facebook page and like us.